Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Imperator Invictus Saba. Here on the Rest Channel, in which, in the previous episode, this was a special case of, oh gods, what have I done? What have I done? It's regarding change of succession because I decided to take a gamble on somebody younger and also caused a huge drop of stability, and there's tyranny and some degree of corruption. And also part of our army went away, which it became a mercenary band, which I gotta rebuild. It's just, I'm prone to a potential civil war if you're not careful, including provincial revolts, including the part of Tennessee, which is deteriorating very, very fast due to governor corruption. Part of which was mainly my fault, but some of that was due to him extorting territory. That explains it. I would love to put that man on trial, but that already adds too much tyranny for that. And you don't want any more tyranny. So I'm not worried about civil war. I'm worried about, a small potential rebellion, which we're gonna have to take care of that soon. Because I never gave it much care for it. And unfortunately, you already have that office. Give it to somebody with good statesmanship, and I could adopt you. But you'd lose 12 legitimacy for that. Unless someone else wants to be in the family. Because there's a shortage here. A lot of female characters, but not enough males. Including one who is in prison, which we're gonna get you out of prison. Come on out. So I can safely say that I apologize for what has occurred. I just had a bit of a pause because I just received a text from one of my friends in real life. Well, no, internet friends. And I have a feeling that I'm about to receive some bad news during recording, so if it's really bad, then I'm gonna have to give myself a pause in a moment. Oh no, we're doing well. Never mind. Okay, now, so, I'd like to apologize to you, so how can I make it up to you? Since, we just imprisoned you, revoked your free hands. We'll put you in, and then I will subsequently give you free hands again. You could be as corrupt as you like. And if you want to be in a line of succession again, I may give you treatment as well. So, just want you on our side, okay? We're righting the wrong said by Shahabil, because that was for succession reasons. So, we don't know if you're back in the line of succession, so that's the first step. And mind you, this is the 7-year-old making the decision now. Oh man. So, that's one matter solved. So now, oh god, you gotta get that stability back up, which causes some population unhappiness, which makes provincial rebellions more likely, if you're not careful. Because we are used to high stability, but we never, got ourselves into this position before. And the only way to do that is perform the divine sacrifice, which I plan on, doing this part. I mean, a reduction of divine sacrifice cost would be nice, as with this one. In order to get the prescribed canon, so we can have conversion policy laws that we can get to. But it's not until a couple of months. So we use the divine sacrifice then. So it wouldn't cost as much. But for once, it's nice to see a clean Arabia with no enclaves. Just the whole Arabian Peninsula. And we were preparing for a potential war with the Ptolemaic Kingdom. Which, of course, if you do that, you're going to be fighting against Andros and Orgami, which are Andros Rhodes are feudatories, and one's the other's a client state. The Antigonid Kingdom is a major power, although not great, but still got a sizable population, especially down in Attica, Boeotia, and even in Pella. Which, in fact, the capital city of Pella doesn't exist anymore. It's destroyed. It's reduced to a settlement. And also, you're also going to deal with them as well. Those of Thrace, which are currently in a war that they're busy with, so at least that'll keep them at bay. And we know that the Antigonids will also join, in which Ionia, although insignificant power, will come in to support them as well. Orgame is assisting it's like Dalmatia against the Romans. At least not everyone's involved. I know it's too many relations. And since they have bad stability, but can you imagine Sparta as a client state? A country whose heritage is known for the high morale of armies and discipline? I mean, they have grown considerably. And even though I once said to myself that I vowed not to get involved in Greek affairs, but we needed another potential deterrent against the Antigonid Kingdom. There will be a day where after we conquer the rest of Canaan, Syria, and the Delta parts of the Ptolemaic Kingdom, then I'm going to start integrating, particularly Sarmatia. In which I'm also curious as to just looking at the terrain. For future fortifications to be built for within these regions. And of course, subsequently get you people in. Well, all I ask for the Spartans is to don't do anything. You got some bad stability, but I'm also in a bad way too. So perhaps we can support you. Having you as a client state, that we don't have to get involved in Greek affairs directly, but if the Antigonids attack, you could support us. And we know that you have no love for the antagonists. And so it's a wonder how you decide to expand northward after your numerous failed attempts at taking Crete. I'm willing to gamble on that, because we have a common threat. So, look, having you as a client state would be, yes, that'd be a big get. Despite recent alarming moves, Spire of Adan seems to have abandoned her ambition to contest the throne for Arabia, at least publicly, avowed her loyalty to Malik One less thing to worry about. So Sparta, despite its territorial ambitions, will decide that it will become a client state of ours, which is unexpected, but it's due to lowered stability, which I was not aware of. But, however, this would not be easy, because you need to improve relations more than just what you would have initially, because you need to make them like you more. So I'm willing to improve relations with you, and then send them money. We have so much good income. What would the income look like if we were in a full-blown war with increased army and fleet maintenance? Still good. Upper Egypt gives us the most. What else? I'm trying to think. Besides improving relations with Sparta, to try to get them in as a client state. Although this does not mean that I would have a plan to integrate Sparta into Arabia to have our permanent presence in Greece rather than just Crete alone. That would be way out of place. But I kind of see them as a way of fighting against the Attacks to keep them busy on their front. Which means a future war against the Ptolemaic Kingdom and Carthage could be seen as a world war. And to prepare for such an undertaking, we need to rebuild this legion that we've once had. Because I did a not so brilliant move of, you know, knocking him out of succession and make him a mercenary. And these mercenaries are based from over there in Britannia. That's all the way over there. And they're outside of diplomatic range, so he's already hired, I guess. Plus he's epileptic. Have long lived. And here's me. I'm the son of the mercenary captain. So expand this legion by creating the exact same specifications as this mercenaries that we once had. So 3 archers, 3 war camels, 1 engineer, 3 heavy cavalry, 2 heavy infantry, 5 horse archers, 3 military, And because of the sheer size of the army, you might as well add another supply train to it. And this is the amount of manpower and money that will be spent. So confirm these changes. Although we could add a few more. Which again, due to the large size of the army, you're going to have to split them up. And before you do that, the honor guard is still alive. Muda, how are you? Oh, he's from this army. He's still one of the good ones. So we still have our honor guard. But honestly, kind of want to leave that alone. May never know that the martial skill continues to increase, that I kind of want to lead the army myself, unless I want to, you know, go out and capture a few cities for myself. That's what I see. And the balance now is this. So again, exact same specifications as it was before. So you're at supply limit. So I'll split them up. Go this way. Due to population unhappiness, you did something very foolish for that. Go get the precious metals. Which, matter of fact, I'm gonna go raise the levies and go visit some more important provinces myself. Even if you have to force march all the way over there. And I still have that ability. Head to them. In the meantime. Although I would be taking away some of that manpower. It's getting further away. I know I can't befriend anyone. Actually, you can. Even as a child ruler. How old are you? Poor health. He's, well, he's just in poor health. That's all. He's only 57. And do they still have the old Spartan diarchy? Yes, the Spartan diarchy. Where they have 2 kings. Now it costs less to do some sacrificing. Good choice of words. Would be nice to have that. Again, that Carthaginian revolt due to its size is not what I had hoped, but oh well. And it seems they have successfully won their independence unless Carthage stops caring. Actually, they didn't care. I mean, yes, they rebelled, but they had other priorities. So they kind of left it alone, not care about it. Which one would think, hey, it presents an opportunity to try to make contact with them and make alliances out of you, but nah, that'd be too easy. That'd be too damn easy. Plus too many relations. And adding Sparta to the mix is another. And while trying to get them in as a subject would be a great boon. But you know what? Let's try to befriend with the King of Sparta, Basileus of Sparta, to try to get him in as a client state. Which would be a great get. Everybody start drilling. Well, there's more tyranny on my end. Which does lower the heck out of the aggressive expansion. It don't cost much to imprison or execute somebody. The loyalty of characters. That will not do. Everybody drill. Just want you to be ready for a possible war. Thank you. There goes my popularity hit. I just hope they don't start a war or anything like that. I got lots of money. So this would hopefully win them over. Just pray that Sparta doesn't start a war. They're at peace with the Antigonids, you're fine. For another 2 years at least. While Parthia is busy fighting against this largely Balto-Slavic tribe. Although they're losing it right now. Because they're either overstretched or whatever is causing the issue up there. Alright, befriend with the Spartan ruler. That's another step towards it, but at least I have the diplomatic relations for it. Yeah, that plan backfired. Which Carthage is ready for war, rather than against each other. Alright, here's some stability to go up, which will definitely turn things around. And should there be a rebellion, which there will be, we'll be sure to send out one of you troops to down there and take care of the matter. Industrious folk of Oculus excel themselves, contributing to their personal funds to develop the infrastructure of their fine city. Hope the sites are going to be made by some less loyal subjects. The granary sounds nice. I'll just say wonderful. Another granary. Whereas in actuality, that should be built in another place. Instead, should have another port level 5, which gives us the ability to repair heavy ships. And speaking of heavy ships, this is another thing I want to do, since we have the Hebrews with us. This is what I want. Study the Levantine ways of war, which the integrated cultures has to at least 300 pops. It's not there yet, but almost. And the only way to guarantee that is to integrate them in because they're Hebrews. And you've been good eggs. Go ahead. It would be a boon to Canaan. From the governor of Greece. He was the governor of Punt. You'll do. Give him another port. The Age of Empires. Across the face of the earth, battle-scarred generals and scheming warlords crown themselves as kings and emperors, ascending their jeweled thrones, ruling over vast realms conquered at the point of the spear. Time will always march on. Now the Age of Empires has begun. This is 104 BC, so this is where we are. 1,000 civilization values spread across all territories. 250 roads, but get this much. Have at least 3 accepted cultures, more than 300 pops. Which we're gonna get one for the Hebrews soon. Oh, look at these new ones. And you could spend at least 1 splendor on. We can get that population simulation speed increase once we activate this. There's no need for that one. Just a number. I think that would be for best. Knowing that, you know, I plan on expanding like mad when we're ready. We do as we please, ignoring convention and disregarding the opinions of those that feel threatened by us. So we'll probably start behaving like Parthia in terms of what we're going to do to them. Present. You'll be fine. They'll be all right. Harsh treatment will do. So we don't need to use that divine sacrifice, but it's a good thought. They decided to do harsh treatment. Tennis to stop a rebellion from occurring. Good move. If we just have the right amount of political influence when I decided to turn this into a metropolis, And what I would like to do when building the said metropolis is, since it does have everything it needs, is I would like to build 2 fortresses and another commercial district, so more food can be imported to keep up with the growth. That's my idea for it. And we still have about 1466 days. When it's finished, we get all these great benefits, especially naval-related matters throughout the country. So in the meantime, I'll be on my way wherever I feel that the place is more. I think they'll all manage. Cannot switch policies at this time because I'm trying to reduce the tyranny. Oh, Crete. Yeah, that's the one other place. Yeah. Just give me fast transport there. Well, you stay. I just urge the Spartans to please don't do anything. While I will start integrating them to get more Hebrews in here, because that would be a boost for the size of the Legion of Canaan, since it's the one that I once said that this would be a strictly cavalry force. Roll visit. Take me back. Three tier 5 ports in one area where you can repair heavy ships. Although sometimes I wish the same, that I could do that for Gaza, but it remains a tier 1. Because I would love to make provincial investments there, but however, the capture in the future well, they got enough pops if they wish to make it a metropolis, if they have the money for it, as it's still their capital. Now that place, I would make it a tier 5 port. I was just thinking about future constructions. It's just what I was thinking of. Go on. Move me back down here. Not to mention having such high-level ports increases the attraction of migration. really neglected that place. Matter of fact, change course. Get back to Gaza. And then go over there to help us. Start the integration, which will take about 7 years' time. Well, again, this is just a decision that'll really increase the number of Hebrews, which should be enough to get us up to this. Which again, they're of the Levantine culture group. And then gotta have 40 military experience, just no problem. That's why we're all drilling. But at least it'll make these provinces a bit more loyal to us. And those Hebrew cultures. Although the Sabian culture would never forgive us by saying, foreigners should not fight for the nation, as far as culture, citizen, and normal happiness. And some of you are thinking, gods, why? Well, there is advantages to this. Since we completed the Arabian traditions, but the Nubian traditions, however, they're more focused on archers and, well, horse archers. I mean, that's kind of attractive. If we wanted to go for all that. Morale of armies and such. And then there's this other path. Archers. City building. If I was ever in the mood for that. That's slightly attractive. And also gives you the ability to build these heavy ships. These war elephants, which you do not use those. I'd rather take the Levantine path. Because here's one of them. Levantine Kingdom, this is for more camel discipline. And more advantages in desert combat, as we're already good at that. Less cost to recruit such of them. Camels, 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 camels. Oh, and plains combat too, which we have not mastered plains warfare. And there's a sense for even more hostile attrition at desert combat. Less mercenaries to maintain is what's that? Free province investments and more city building slots everywhere. A free colony. Fort defense. Innovations. That seems pretty attractive. But it's the maritime traditions is what I'm attracted to the most, which is why I want that idea to be implemented in the first place. One of the territories will get a port. That's what I'm seeing in the future for the late game. Keep that well in mind. Province import routes. Gives you the ability to build heavy ships. Same thing with the Nubian traditions. Plus comes earlier rather than later. So yeah, ship damage taken, so we took less damage. Ship damage done, we hurt them more. Go further down, then you get the Megapolarium, the biggest of the class of heavy ships. Knowing that, you know, we'd be fighting against Carthage and other entities of the Mediterranean and Arabian seas. So this would be suitable, especially in open sea combat. And then there's that to reduce the cost of building these said ships. Well, this is why I'm far more attracted to that. And more coastal sea combat bonus. And then, you know, we adopt Greek warfare eventually with the phalanx tactic. Even though we don't use spears. We don't use spearmen. But we do like to use light infantry at times. And heavy infantry as well. So, I'd rather take the naval path. Because I want to dominate the seven seas, or whatever that term they used to say back in the day. There, and out there. And sometimes into the rivers. Especially if we deal against future navies against those of Parthia and Carthage. And possibly Rome if they ever get their act together. Because their number of ships combined does rival Parthia. I'm surprised they never had a single ship. Despite the fact they control a few ports. So that's why it's called Britannia. Britain is united. But they have no mainland presence. And we have no contact with them. It's a federated tribe. Heritage of the powerful Highlanders. That's where they came from originally. Brigantic. Insular. Just want to look at that. Where do you people come from? Brigantic. It's insular Celtic. Brigantic. I mean, it doesn't help where they originally came from. Brigantia, so I guess their original homeland came from over there. And where is their capital? Dolur. Dolur is their capital. A swamp. Right. I'll focus on here and here only, alright? My focus is to try to get Sparta in as a client state. It would be a huge boon for us to get them in here. At least stability will be back. While we're all German troops. Governor of Arabia. Go ahead, on with the celebrations. That'll slow down. I'm 9 years old. With the Divine Spoon active, hence the reason for the increased zeal. Hey, aren't you forgetting something? War's over. Welcome them in. We're trying to lower the tyranny, but if you need that, well, I got pretty decent charisma. And maybe that should be my, my main skill, one would think. But also would love to have proscribed cannon as future reference. The hell? Never got around to do the rest of these, since you've been so naval intensive. Especially to these. Just looking, browsing. Discipline's always good, but successful city sieges by your legions will now generate that tiny amount of military experience. Although, to be quite honest, I actually want to go down this way. And reduction of these would always be great. Because, you know, for military campaigns such as these, the only thing we always have a constant issue with is supplies. We did increase the supply, but I'd like to get a little bit more of that. And a little bit of army movement speed is always good. Especially that we have that cavalry-only army. We're doing quick march, but a regular march would be fine as well. And then eventually go down to get to these. And for even more supplies. So you need one of. Okay. And plus, less army attrition for us taken while during sieges. And having more supplies would be a boon to us. So if he could get a couple more innovations from some of you, especially you, I think we should be more military focused. Because logistics is what wins wars. Get over there. And don't worry about that threat, so I'll bribe someone in a moment. And wait for the tyranny to go down. Slowly but surely. Unless I get lucky with a few events that reduces tyranny. That'll hold them off for a while. Now anywhere else. Starvation province. That's what I referred to Adan as. Unfair, but it's the truth. We don't have to worry about Nemesis anymore. So I'm just going to reside there for a while. Until something happens. As I continue to grow up. Just keep in mind, birthday's on June 7th. Adan, you've grown considerably by colonizing the empty spaces. You know, you're all Phoenicians, but still. We'll soon call upon you again, and then when Samara gets integrated, then we gotta study the Levantine ways of war. This is the one to watch out for. The Holdings, head of the family. He's got the gout. As a matter of fact, since gout is not treatable. Ah, you're plotting quietly. That's the reason why you've been active. I didn't see that part. So don't worry about it. Don't do anything. He'll be a good egg again. They're getting their stability back up. And I don't think there's any means. Oh, look at you. You got both success and intelligence. So that doubles the possibility of getting innovation from you. But anyways. Oh yeah, there's that. That innovation that we gotta go pick up as well. Get one more diplomatic reputation up. And then you may have it. I just simply want Sparta in here. Get him in as a client state, just like what we did with Egypt. And then I'd be a happy man. A very happy man. And if I can't get you in, then I don't know what will. I don't know if we were gonna make it. If we were just content by having it as a tributary, then we'll just say screw it. It doesn't use the diplomatic slot, but at least it'll stop them from going wherever it wants to go. And they have to give me money. But there is another way. Where is it? That cooperative stance. Diplomatic reputation up, but that'll cost you a lot of political influence. The metropolis can wait. Let's be more cooperative. And maybe perhaps Sparta will try to, you know, get in because diplomatic reputation. And it costs less to send gifts. So I thought the diplomatic reputation idea might work. I mean, yeah, you lowered the opinion due to the change of stance. Oh. You're in no danger. Which army are you from? Of Canaan. Right. I got so much wealth, I have no idea what to do with. He was deployed tribune. Precision. That's who he was. Ah, damn it! There are less good candidates. Especially with someone who's so young that may potentially screw up. And they have way more jobs than they actually need to be. But I'll give it to you. You'll have a faster increased statesmanship than the others. You may potentially screw something up, but you'll be fine in long term. Just shaking my head. Which I'm like, despite our best efforts, there's no way we could get them in. Due to base, the rank, even though they're a regional power, not a major power, keep that in mind. But something needs to happen to them. But that doesn't prevent us to keep ourselves drilled in case we have to help Sparta with something that doesn't involve, you know, something that doesn't involve myself in this. Citizens abroad are freemen at home, so they move in. Every little bit helps. And at the same time, I'm trying to reduce the tyranny. So I'm basically sitting with my hands. 11 years old. 7 finesse, 7 charisma, 6, 8. That's very good for all the bases, but next year, I'm going to be tutored with which education do I need. So perhaps that gamble of choosing this character to be the next ruler likely paid off. Call upon our great goddess for more military experience, which will definitely use that again eventually to get the Hebrew pops up by integrating them in here. And due to the increased diplomatic reputation of ours, we actually increased the speed of integration. I'm looking. Unfortunately, there's no way. It's not going to be enough. Despite words of sweetness and all that, it's not enough to make them a client state nor a tribute. Despite honeyed words. Despite all that. Which, to be fair, they were able to get their stability back up again. It only takes a change of succession for them to reduce their stability again. I'm a young man. He's an old man. So, tell you what. I'll keep you in terms. We'll remain allies. We don't need the money. Keep it stable. Country's is getting its act back together, like the way it was before. So just get this next, and then we'll figure it out from here. Prime Farmer, friend of the veterans of battle, is simple recognition of service to Arabia. Sometimes, however, the lure of battles and glory can prove too much for those on and constitute a life of manual labor. A recent bad winter caused those working the fields to up and leave to find better work in our armies, leaving a vast tract of arable land unclaimed. We have reappropriated to better serve our flourishing state. So, that's nice. So in 3 years' time, Samaria will come in, which I will gain 1 city and 3 fortifications I see. And none of you's got any treasures that would be coming in with, but instead we'll be bringing in a bunch of Hebrews, enough for us to learn their ways of war, which would be a boon to us for future wars. And so now that I've reached that age, so here it is. 6, 7, 7, 8. Wants to become a politician. And you know, it's the charisma is what makes me popular. So leave it at that. I'd rather be a politician than anything else. Because that's what I'm behaving at this point, despite my youth. So leave it at that. Just try to gain some more charisma. As the previous ruler, well, that's the mercenary. Whereas the previous ruler, he was just as charismatic. Now the whole of Arabia for the next few years. Integrated culture happiness. That be to the benefit. You're the primary heir now, but you know, I'm gonna have children of my own, so it's probably not gonna matter. Although I do encourage, you know, people having children, so you can have more sons to have more jobs. So again, we tried our best. Almost. So even if you were to send them a gift your way, it's not enough, but it is enough to make it become a tributary. Despite the cooperative stance. As I said, despite our best efforts, when you look at oratory of the other places, there's that for additional. Okay, so we'll remain allies for the time being between Arabia and Sparta. There's nothing else I can do until we wait for, oh, I don't know, whenever something happens to this man, and then and there's a good possibility we'll get them in here. Tried our best, but wasn't enough. Despite our differences in culture. As I said, I guess honeyed words isn't enough. But good effort. What are they doing? I see them raise their levies. So they've broken up with the Antigonans. And origami. So that means less of a hassle. And of course there's them. Wonder what caused the deterioration in relations. That's laughable. Carthage is at war against them down there. They're reclaiming their territories they lost in a little rebellion. Oh, look, it's about to be finished. To Adan. Look at it, people. 20 days. Long have we waited. Hold it right there. Remember, look at the modifiers it'll give to Arabia. I mean, in this province, that means more local import routes. So I'll be sure to put more food in there due to the growth of Adan, as it'll become a metropolis in future. And the effect the whole country it'll have for us is increased national tax, commerce bonus, yes. And it'll benefit our navies by reduced attrition, increased blockade efficiency, very slow monthly ship repair at sea, where we don't have to go to the port necessarily. Especially for our heavy ships, if we are too far away from the home ports, that accommodates them. It would be fairly useful. Costs less to, you know, no. The ship recruit speed means you build them faster, so we can replenish our losses fairly easily. And slight reduced Navy maintenance costs, so we'll earn a bunch. And ships starting experiences each time they're built and sent off. So, this is how much we make. 50.58. During the state of war, when I have all the maintenance up, that's 30 by 32. And with the Spire of Adan completed, here it is. Behold, the Spire of Adan is completed at last. Our hard work has finally come to fruition. A construction of this magnitude is an achievement in itself. Also, the interior is decorated with the finest artwork produced by our people. It truly represents our nation's grandeur and might in a way no one else could. It is truly a glorious sight. Ho ho ho! What would you like to have? More stability, along with additional increased charisma and finesse? Or just be happy with the fact? Or increased zeal while increasing our martial, since it got reduced slightly, I think. due to my ongoing education. But having a high zeal just means you have, more stability. While having high charisma, just like my predecessor, just means all that. And plus adds more stability, and more stability means population growth, happiness, legitimacy, research points going up. Although to be quite honest, tribute must go to the genius of our ruler. So I'll take the popularity. So popularity goes up, while my finesse and charisma especially increases. So there you have it. This is the lighthouse, made entirely out of gold. That's what it's made of. Although its tier can increase with time. So let me look at it. I mean, in any time you want, you can change it. But this by using better construction tiers, the higher prestige enables more powerful effects. I'm sure it's also affected by events, I assume. So we got another, local import route here. Winter's already over, that's why it's down like that, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. You know what? Give them more grain. Just to try to keep up with the growth. Oh, we actually have more imports now. Damn! Okay. Look, I think the food situation is fine. I think it's fine. What you should be more concerned of is to bring in some more valuables, like precious metals. Always trading with our friend Egypt. Hell, Sparta. Maybe here's another way to try to improve relations, because, Parthia, the trade access is another. We don't have trade access with Sparta, so I'm sure they probably imported all of them. Whatever they get from them. I mean, that is the real question. What the hell did we get out of them? Go to these provinces. To the areas that we may not have. Like olives. Yeah, why not? Get olives from Sparta, even though we're only doing this just to get trade access from them. Rather than food, which is a small part of it. But that's the way to try to improve relations with them. Give them trade access. And if they want to trade with us, good. We'll review them highly. And maybe they'll start looking at the other way. One would think. But nevertheless. Man, think about it. We saved this a large amount of money, and we make a very good amount of money, which is 63, thanks to the increased tax and commerce. And when in full maintenance, that is enough for us to expand our army and navy if need be. It kind of makes me want to build another wonder. Because of the large amount of money we have, because we know it costs half of what we have now. So why don't we build another one? Like if I were to build another one, I would build it in Tylos. That would make people want to come there. Meanwhile, get another aqueduct. So that's the idea. Just 2 grains. And then, something for the freeman. Civilian. There you go, there's some happiness right there. You know, I would love to build if I were to build another metropolis besides Adan, this would be it. That's why I'm trying to get aqueducts up. It is the capital of Arabian Garad, after all. If I ever have another one of those free province investments, I'd be willing to build a wonder, but it has to be somewhere else. If I feel like it, that is. But right now, keep drilling. Population growth will be better. While migration continues. Unless I'm in a mood to move a couple pops in, but again, we need the political influence of that. If you want to get more of it, that's why I'm trying to integrate them in here. So honestly, I think I am better off of trying to become a politician. Maybe I'll be far more charismatic than my grandfather. You got it. The heir returns. Muttered whispers foretold the return of the once Zaragi many years ago. He left the Arabian court intent on forging a destiny in faraway lands before returning to await the inevitable coordination that awaited him. Events moved fast. Zawab was abroad. A beloved monarch, Shahabil, passed away, resulting in the rise of his son, Wab's son. How do you say his name? Rabbi believes that he's the only true ruler the country deserves, and many in similar agreement. What the hell? Is this how you repay me? To arms. Not again. He's a returning mercenary. And you know he doesn't have citizenship status. No matter what you do, he's never going to be loyal to us again. Despite everything we did for him. But keep in mind, a man with epilepsy, now he's a danger to the establishment. Though he has less of a power base now. This is the army of the Legion. This is second army. This is first army. At least we don't have to pay the bastard, but... Outraged commander. We are in deep trouble. We hear a military training service exercise in Mariabat devolved into madness, with angry words being tossed about the clash between our soldiers killing dozens. Our generals want to punish this mutinous lot, but advise Arabia to walk carefully. It's good enough, and we can call upon the goddess whenever we want to. So these soldiers have to live on bread crusts for the next year. National unrest goes up. Oh my god. We thought this gamble paid off, but no, it backfired horribly. Now we may have a real civil war in our hands, which would require an effort of many to put this bastard down. Although he's not as skilled as he used to be. Though we could bring him in on trial and make this thing go away. But he's a foreign citizen. We're not rivals. I thought he would approve of me because my son is the ruler, but no, he feels that he's the rightful heir to the damn country and such. I could pay him loyal veterans, so yeah, go ahead. Now you got no loyalists. So yeah, what are you gonna do about that? But unfortunately, he's too damn disloyal, and he'll never relinquish the control of it. If he does anything, we're gonna have to stop him. And he's the outraged commander. What army is he from? Of Arabia. But he's not a deployed tribune. Alright, he'll do. We do need good people in Legion of Punt. Ptolemaic Carnusian War. So, they're at war with Sparta, our ally. Well, that's is rather of interest. Which means while they're away on campaign, Sparta's got a damn good admiral. Though a small navy, keep that well in mind. As they have no medium or heavy ships. How much does it cost to do divine sacrifice? That's it. That's what you need another innovation for. And he's a returning mercenary. So I wonder when this modifier is going to go away, since he has returned. We can't send him off to adventuring again. But it's something to keep an eye on. And an outrageous display of brazen aptitude. Bab-el-Mandeb has challenged the ownership of the holding belonged to me. This afternoon, if only a set of blatant forged documents to back up his claim. Proceedings not last long. Sure pressed it for recompense. Oh, he's near death. So I'll say this land belongs to us for generations. You don't matter anymore. While the court was a session afternoon, a little known man by the name of Imperator stood to give a rousing speech on the subject of economic policy. While his argument was ultimately unsuccessful, many heads were turned on the beauty of his oratory. Perhaps this is something we ought to keep an eye on. He's a Cotinian. That is a Gallic. Just became prominent. Of course, the Ptolemaic kingdom would rely on mercenaries. And even if we fought against them, you know, Carthage would come in. Kush is in revolt again. You know, I wish we would have fought against Kush, but I just have my priorities set. This man. Very poor health, has cancer. I have 10 charisma. I'm just as charismatic as my grandfather. Perhaps more. I'm 14 now. Every little bit helps. Look, even if some form of revolt does break out because of him, we can easily beat him on the battlefield if we can use our combined efforts. Mercenary alliance. Wait a minute, you're a mercenary? That's what we're paying him? A little known city of Juba. Oh yeah, that obviously we don't care about. Encourage the merchants from abroad. He never gave a damn about this place. Anyways, I'm trying to think. You guys are mercenaries? We hired you? Are you really currently employed by us? The hell? Since when? I never. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's not related to you, but I don't remember ever hiring them. But I know he was the employee of them. It's where he went. But still, it was something to be noted. What took you? Okay. Diplomatic reputation up one last time. And maybe we'll go for this since you often lament about that. And low tier characters would help you. Look, my only hope is that Sparta does well in the war. Unless they get hurt really bad, and then I would bring them in as a client state. But I'm adopting a wait-and-see attitude. Parthia did not win against me. They didn't expand much. If they did, then it was probably for liminal gain. Order War just dragged on so much where they stopped caring. That's dangerous. Like, I could take the less martial. I could be more charismatic. Spire of Adan attracts travelers. The sheer grandeur of the Spire of Adan attracts travelers from all over the region. It's not uncommon that they vacation area that large numbers use this as their destination to revel in the glory of Bab-el-Mandeb. We need the stability. We must not let our divine mind be dictated by foreigners. Yeah, you may not like it, but it's temporary. Yeah, you got so much damn grain, I think you've already have taken care of the third situation. It would be nice to export more incense, if need be. Maximize the port would also be excellent, especially for the local base trade routes. I'll go ahead with that. Don't use it, because we know some of that is going to be used for that upcoming decision to study their ways of war. Not to mention we have a bit of drop of stability, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth the investment. It's almost done, by the way, the integration. It's going to be done next year. No, later this year. He was the top Malik. Finally, that old bastard. You got stateship game, you don't. Why do they always get the good jobs? It's all because you don't have enough sons, you dingus. I thought I would say that. So don't spend it yet. Not till later. My gosh. Rome is finally about to beat the revolt, finally. And there's also provincial rebellions, which they have little to no time to take care of. Even some of which had been depopulated. Rome is a theocratic republic. That's maddening when you think about it. come you never improved then? We never bothered with these. Yeah, you neglected this province. You didn't care much for it. You got the money for that. Got a slave estate up here. Got build a barracks. Vegetables. Come on. It's the reason why it's called the land of plenty. I was thinking of something else as I was just looking at location. Crafts workshop, maybe. Yeah, why not? There'll be plenty of food coming your way. Try my damnedest with you people. I'm going to... No. Yes. Maybe. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Yeah, originally I thought this episode was going to be more about war, but I found it's like, hey, well, let's ally with Spire, try to get them in, but I think it was too little too late. We just have to wait for the old man to croak, and then whatever that's going on in the succession of the Spartan hierarchy, see what happens over there. If they have bad stability again, then I'll be willing to get them in, just like what we did with Upper Egypt. And we're waiting for them to come in. But at least this expands our borders northward. We'll keep the forts. Dastardly Parthian government has pledged military support to the Baal pretender. Yellow has on it. In any event of civil war, they'll sure come to his aid. Oh, that is troublesome. We must vow to make sure that the civil war must never, ever happen. Revolted. I don't know if that's the main reason why we lost it. Illyria's been revolting and Rome hasn't even bothered to stop them. They took it back and now they want this back. He was a researcher. Not as much, but scholar. Potential free innovation. Come think of it. 16, we're 18. Parthia's tech is 10. Carthage is 10. Rome's is 12. Sparta's 16. It's good to know of who's more advanced and who's not. Here it comes. Our client, Samaria, has long upheld Arabian ideals in a fair and even manner. It is a matter of course, therefore, that their eventual integration to our state is to be the cause for jubilation. The Samarian elite, or Samaritans, has been instrumental in facilitating this union, and many are hoping to find a place within our government. I'm examining all of you. Frail. One-eyed. Ailing, but you got very high finesse. You're the master of trade, so you were the ruler. Daniel, come in here. Since I brought you in here, let me see. I have to look at other things. Oh, we can't just take anyone in. So, you all disappear to obscurity. Now let me see these newly acquired territories. Except for this one bit of Malik, just to be used as a fort, and as long as nothing bad happens to it, give it some grain. And then that'll be less of an issue. Again, they're all Hebrews. And some of that instability comes from the fact that they're all of Israelite faith. But with time. Shechem is the major city. Even though the real power comes from the coasts, obviously. Leave that there. You got a lot of freemen. Slave trader we could do without. I want you to put a great temple here. And then add a quarter long. Should be more citizens than freemen there. Have you taken care of this land good? Yep, they did. Something for the frame. Give them whatever they need. Just trying to increase their happiness a bit. To try to reduce the provincial loyalty. Which will be back up to us. Alright. Now the number of Hebrews jumped up. Since they agreed with us. Which means, there you go. And we further increase the size. Give them more horse archers. And then in future, increase the light cavalry. Then as more and more continues to grow, especially those that are slowly integrating the Sabian over in Philistia. That's my idea. 10, and then have another supply train. Because the future intent for this particular legion, to me, it should be one that's for the lack of a better term, hit and run and scouting. Because I can envision them, especially out in the open desert. especially there in future wars against Carthage, where, you know, like how we will go deep behind enemy lines and try to scout the enemy while the main armies will be marching towards up there. And the supply trains will keep the food storage high as they travel, so they can endure longer, and they can and then when it's time to jettison the supply trains, just let them leave it to their own devices while the cavalry increase their speed by quick marching against the enemy and hit them fast and defeat them quickly, and then get back in with them and then try to return back with whatever food they got. Because you see, food storage of horse archers and light cavalry isn't great, but with supply trains that'll keep them that way, as it does with most of the other armies. That is my doctrine for that sort of thing. Sounds like a modern tactic that's done by, like, say, the long-range desert group in the North African campaign that comes to mind. And we've integrated him in, and so we're just slowly reducing that number. And we'll be sure to ask for you again whenever that time comes. We have so high of a diplomatic reputation. Ah, yes. This is going to cause us drop of stability again, but it'll be worth it. We shall train of our new brothers in arms and see war through their eyes. So we'll have a drop of stability, a drop in the military experience, spending of political influence, and these provinces will be a little more loyal to us. Little. Why on earth would I make it an independent country again? But anyways, so the freemen that are currently in our country that belong to the Levantine culture gain 5% happiness, 3% output for 30 years. There's currently 39 pops of the Hebrew freemen. Well, that would be effective. And with that, now we have the ability to get these. So it would be most wise to start going down this way. Especially that gives us the ability to build more heavy ships instead of the 5 we've always been having. That will come in the far future. You can always adapt to Greek warfare later. We just want to have a navy that can match all the others. Sometimes more. I would integrate the Phoenician states too, but we have to fight a war in order to connect it. I mean, yes, we're connected by sea, but I'd rather have full control of everything over, you know, that part of Syria. Fuck. Yeah, you got it. Just leave him alone and maybe he'll go away. That's what I think it'll happen. Just pretend that he doesn't exist. And now we know that the Parthians are beginning to interfere in my affairs. Oh, that is a pretty sizable rebellion, but they won't last long, knowing them. 100,000 manpower. All thanks to bringing these people in here. Forced retirement, that's tyranny. I am 16 years old now, and I picked up Founder. Great Wonder Construction +10. And as ruler, slightly reduced build cost and monthly stability change up. That's excellent. 6 martial, 8 finesse, 8 zeal, 10 charisma. I can see it right now. Be the master of diplomacy. That's what I would like to be. So legitimacy up as with my popularity, and then my charisma jumped up more again. I get 2 of these free perks because I started off young. Because you get them every 5 years for a perk. That's how it works. And with a much higher charisma now, we could reduce the tyranny more and then increase the my old honor guard. A group of soldiers belonging to the army commanded by Bodai, KC, has, while stationed on a peaceful deployment, absconded and ordered to pillage the city of nearby Marisa. What is more concerned is that Mundar's refusal to punish his legions and decided extreme loyalty as a reason. We're left in a disagreeable position having to choose between forcing our general to crucify his own soldiers or appearing weak and soft. We can't help that. Knows precisely what he's doing. We can't afford to anger him. Well, there goes my popularity. Speaking of which, since you've done that, at least my popularity will go up with time. Speaking of... this way. Use the money to hold the games. That's a way to get my popularity up. Because I need to get rid of some popularity and a negative stability to get the legitimacy slowly to go back up all the way. So if I were you... yeah, just more popularity. All about popularity. Although I can have more popularity by other means. In true Arabian fashion, our benevolent ruler has ordained that it will be a period of games and festivity. While it's not commonplace, made it a common folk and court alike are pondering whether the Honorable himself will take to the sands to prove his bravery for all to see. Bring on the challenge. Yeah, I took a popularity hit. I'm trying to get it back up. A raging sun beats down on competitors, glistening with oil and sweat. Many weeks of events have come and gone, with whispers marked to this final event, the boxing tournament. The crowd cheers with jubilation as it appears accompanied by garlanded Arabian youths. None dare question the majesty of such a title of competition. It comes, however, as a surprise when one slips and falls at the very last moment, automatically forfeiting the match. The royal guard quickly clear the arena of competitors, tend to reeling over. So I lose a bit of health, but don't worry. It'll slowly increase. Very, 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 very slowly. Whenever that physician continues to get his statesmanship up, so it'll be more effective. It's modified by 39% each. So yeah, don't do that again, but at least that'll start boosting my popularity. Including with the ongoing increasing popularity plot. And after that, then I'll start scheming for influence. And you can also gain popularity by winning wars. Speaking of wars, Sparta's at peace and it's very, very stable. More military experience. I don't know. I just don't know if starting a war against them is a good idea. Yes, it's still military access. It's still a necessity that I'm willing to keep until that time has come. And I probably want to, I'll just go after the original objective, Kush. You dummy! You made things unstable again. Here's Nabaku, commander of one of the prestigious armies, has presented a request to be officially acknowledged. As a man of recognized noble stature, this sudden outrageous demand was covered by a public proclamation of the inadequacies of our royal house, which show harm our standing to seize this demand. God dang it! Even lower legitimacy. Certainly not. I'll take the stability hit. We've gone down this far before. Don't worry, it'll start going back up in no time. Due to the zeal and among other things. He was the family head. There are no commanders. We'll put you there. Very poor health, has dysentery. Which is treatable, but just bribe the man. You'll be alright. We'll end the episode on January. So I have a feeling that in the next episode we may have to change targets. We should probably stop eyeing at the Ptolemaic Kingdom for a while. And probably just... This was Ptolemaic territory, and Konos took it. Congratulations. Sparta is a useful ally after all. But I would love for her to be a client state one day. Rome revolt is in Bohemia, and other scattered parts, and Sardinia too. They managed to expand again. So maybe Kush will perhaps be targeted for a point. Maybe we should do that instead, despite our best efforts. So we'll turn our attention to that, and only that. So we hope you people enjoyed this episode, as that was quite an episode. And our wander is finished, and that's the good thing here. So we'll see you in the next one, but until then, so long for now.